So we've got a brand new update as well as a new DLC to explore here in Way the Hunter. The Outfits Pack just dropped today for $4.99 US, or if you own the Map Pack 2 DLC, it actually comes along with it. So throughout this hunt, we'll be switching characters, checking out all the new outfits, as well as the bug fixes and changes here in the game. One of the major ones is the Sika deer model change. These look like Sika deer, unlike what we had in the past. So the first thing we're going to do is head out here on Matsuriki Park and try to find one on the hoof. So our first look at Sika deer actually on the hoof, and you may be noticing we're spotting these things at like 370 yards. That is one of the changes. I believe it's out to 350 meters, whatever that correlates to in yards. That's now the maximum distance at which you can actually identify things with the binoculars, which I think is really cool. Also, you see that 10x on the left? You can adjust your zoom, and in order to do that, you do have to go into your game. You have to go to gameplay. I think it's at the bottom here. Binoculars arcade mode. Switch that to yes if you do want the zoomable binoculars. Now, they're not zooming in further than they used to before. 10 was still the max, but if you're trying to glass around, maybe you want a little higher field of view, I like that. I think it makes it nice for quickly trying to scan around and, maybe spotting things standing down there in the trees. But let's try to take one of these guys out. Maybe we just go for a 300-meter shot on that broadside one, and we'll go and take an up-close look at them. I was hoping for a little bit more update-wise, but I do think they look better. They're just kind of stockier looking now. A little bit more like a real Sika deer compared to what we had before. Now on our way over, there we have a 2-star mature. That looks better to me. Like, the much darker coloration, that I feel like looks far more realistic. Okay, I'm actually far happier with these now. When I saw the 1-star adult over there, and it was still like the really bright kind of orange color with the spots, this is what I was hoping to see. More kind of changes to the coloration, because that wasn't as good, because we couldn't tell that in the trophy lodge. What they added, and what makes a big deal, especially on like the shoulder mounts, is the additional fur along the necks. That looks fantastic. Like, yeah, that is a Sika deer. Not what we had before. Good deal, okay. I was a little bit bummed out when I saw that, because when I initially read the change to the Sika deer model in the patch notes, that was one of my favorite things. Now, the harvest screen isn't always the best way to view these things, because it kind of locks them into a certain animation and makes the necks look weird sometimes, but I like it. Yeah, matures look good. I'm trying to think what we have full body mount wise in the lodge. I'm sure we have some space. I might put one of the 5 stars that we have on a full body mount just to kind of see what that looks like now. So a little bit of a 2-for-1 here. Looking at the new outfit for River, as well as the 1-star adult Sika deer, I definitely don't love their coloration as much, but I can live with the younger ones being the light fur when the matures actually do look really good. As far as River's outfit, I get like, canonically it makes sense. He's sort of a newer hunter that's getting back into it. I think they call this the rookie hunter outfit. I just sort of wish it was camo though, instead of just an orange jacket. That said, as far as I can tell, outfits throughout the community, the DLC being $5 basically for character locked outfits, and we're going to look at that in just a second, that hasn't been super popular anyway. I wanted to purchase the DLC and show you guys what you're getting as far as character wise if you do want to buy it. So let's go into the menu and take a look at the selection for characters and the outfits. So essentially, you're going to go into Free Hunt, you're going to choose your map. We're going to stay here on Matsuriki Park actually, because there's another thing update wise we want to look at, and you go through the outfits like this. So basically, this hunting rookie outfit is only for River. You can't use that outfit for anyone else. Silent Stalker is only for April, the Slovak Hunter is only for Wallace, and so on. So we'll stick with Wallace, and we'll go and take a look at the other Matsuriki Park part of the update. Now, this particular issue was actually specific to multiplayer, but as far as I can tell, a lot of people play multiplayer for the fresh spawns, so could very much be a big deal. Basically, both feral goats and feral pigs here on Matsuriki Park had a complete lack of fur randomization, and they would kind of all look the same. We're on a multiplayer server. You can see that is very much resolved, and I think that's going to be good for those that do play multiplayer. As far as major like Matsuriki Park stuff goes, there are some minor changes, and I'll post a link in the description to all of the patch notes because there's no way we're going to hit them all here. But these are the kind of main 2 big ones. And we could go and look at feral pigs too, but I think you get the point. The fur randomization has been changed. So we are going to sit behind this feral goat and take a look at the Slovak Hunter outfit for Wallace here. And What I'll say is the St. Hubert medal is a nice touch, especially if you know the history behind all that. As far as the outfit itself, it's probably not something I'll use. If you're from somewhere that, you know, often wears the traditional hunting attire like the Slovak hunter outfit here, I can see people liking it. For me, when I do use the Wallace character, I'll probably use the OG outfit here. And that is the thing that's just kind of unfortunate, because the outfits are character locked, because Wallace can only wear this one or his original. River only gets like the orange coat or his original. If we could wear, for instance, like I think it's Silent Stalker, was it April's or Jackie's, I forget who actually got to wear it, the camo outfit, I think it'd be cool if all the characters could get to use that, or if all the characters could get to use all of them. That would make the pack a little bit more worth the price tag. So I was right the first time. It is April who gets the Silent Stalker outfit, and I think it's the best looking of the outfit pack. It's got a really nice camo pattern. I think it would work on most maps, and just again, if it wasn't character locked, so that any character that anybody typically plays with would be able to, you know, use those different options, I think that would be ideal. But we're here on Aurora Shores for one main reason, and that is because they've added a bunch of options, not just on Aurora Shores, but on every map, to taxidermize female animals. So down here, we can now choose to tax a female wood bison, and we have this albino from forever ago that we can finally display in our lodge. We shot this thing, I didn't even look at what it said. Let's go back into here real quick. July 7th, 2023, almost a year ago. And we can finally display it in our lodge, as we've got a couple of albino males that we're trying to age up. But I really like that. If you've got rare females, especially things like the wood bison that just could not be placed anywhere, that you've maybe just saved and have been waiting to display, that should be possible on any map, I think, with any species. I believe it said there's more than 400 female tax options in all the different displays and stuff now, so that is a big deal, especially for the rares. So I think you can probably see why I like this outfit. I think it's a really good camo pattern, and I've done cinematic shots before when we've shot our 5-star rares, and I've never bothered too much to try to get like into the brush, because I think we shot both of those as River, and he just has like the tan clothing on that doesn't have any camo value. I think it would be pretty cool to be able to set up stuff like that, but again, it's character locked. I'm just hoping eventually maybe they open that up. So we're gonna go and once again sit behind our elk, which I think we dropped with the Carbon CL, and we'll take one final look, and then we're gonna be off to Transylvania and Nez Perce, because there's a somewhat major change over there too. Like, that actually looks really good, and it helps too. Like, our elk pretty much landed perfectly, a little bit of his antlers hidden under the ground, but I like that. Probably definitely my favorite outfit in the pack. I guess I shot this one other time with the 700 long range? Interesting enough, just barely clipped the liver, but anyway. Let's jump over to, I guess we'll go to Transylvania first, and take a look at that little change. They've now added new parking spots all over Transylvania and Nez Perce Valley, which that might not sound like a huge deal, as we have Jackie here in the Elegant Explorer outfit, but things like the mountains up here in Transylvania, they take forever to traverse, and I really like that there's a parking area at this campsite where we can pretty quickly just scoot up into the mountains and start to move along. It may not seem that bad to traverse these things. Maybe you range the next mountain over and it's 600 yards or something like that. It doesn't sound too far till you realize you gotta walk all the way down to the bottom and back up, and you cover like twice that distance. It takes forever. Now we can much more easily get a UTV up here and cover some ground. And not only did we manage to cover a bunch of ground really quickly with the UTV, we also found a herd of mouflon that I don't think I knew existed, largely because it took forever to get over here. So I'm trying to look, this guy's uneven. He's a 2-star adult, but maybe not a terrible one to try to take out. Now I've still got the bow in my inventory from taking out that 5-star Mellifallow, so that means we've got the 1903 to try to take out a mouflon. Probably not the most fair battle, but we're gonna go for a headshot anyway, so we can go over and get our trophy photo. So the argument probably can be made that adding a bunch of new parking spots to these maps makes it easier, but they are huge maps. The DLC maps have them anyway, and Nez Perce Valley and Transylvania are so much bigger than the DLCs. I just think it's a convenience thing at the end of the day. You can get around the maps faster, you can get to areas that maybe you never really go and check, and find some pretty high star rating mouflon. For my favorite way to play the game, I try not to use the UTVs too much, but when it comes to scouting and finding new areas, I think it's a pretty nice addition. Now, as far as the outfit, like the Slovak Hunter one earlier, for me, in my part of the world, this outfit has nothing to do with hunting, so that really doesn't move the needle as far as whether or not I want to buy the DLC. Again, if you're from that area, I think it probably makes perfect sense, but probably not one I'm going to be using all that often when we use Jackie, maybe if we go back to Aurora Shores. So 71%, probably not a terrible one to take out based on the 3 stars. And now we go to Nesbird's Valley, one final outfit to look at, and also a little change outside of just the parking spots. So I'll be curious to see if I can actually recognize this one without going back and comparing. Apparently Mountain Goats have had a slight tweak for the harvest screen, so got a 1-star adult there that's just kind of spinning around. Of course he's going to try to trot. We're going to see if we can get a shot through him. That'll work, and we'll go and take a look at that and see if we can see the difference in the harvest screen. As far as Malek's outfit, I'm going to be honest, I don't quite understand this one. This is another kind of like traditional hunting attire, but as far as the character that's from Africa and, you know, is hunting in a arid, hot climate, it doesn't really make any sense. Now, I get, you know, maybe the idea is we have the free hunt option, we've got Malek here on Nesbird's Valley, something a little bit warmer makes sense, but I still would have preferred maybe even like much lighter, like it could have been camo shorts and a camo short sleeve shirt, and I kind of would have preferred that. But again, if you're from an area where maybe that is the traditional garb, I can see that being something you actually like. So before we pick that up, we'll take one final look at that crouch behind the mountain goat. This is called the gentleman outfit, by the way. I don't think it looks bad by any stretch, but I just don't think, like everything else kind of canonically makes sense, I don't think that one makes quite as much sense. So can we see the difference? For one, I think this is the same. I almost feel like it's here in the bullet cam, or maybe if we go to the inspect screen? I don't know what the difference is. I thought maybe, because their faces always look a little bit weird in the harvest screen, and I thought maybe they were going to change that. I might have to go back and compare and see if I can even see any difference. I want to make sure I pull up all the different screens. Like the bullet cam makes it look a little bit like whiter in the fur. Maybe that's the difference? I'm not entirely sure. Either way, we've now gotten to see pretty much every major change the update has to offer, as well as all the outfits. So let's review. The binocular update, being able to get spawning info on animals from farther away and being able to zoom and get a better field of view when we're just glassing around, I think that is fantastic. Changes to like the feral pig and feral goat furs, obviously that's going to be nice for multiplayer. The Sika deer change, I think, is my favorite thing. I still maybe would have liked to see more with the young and adult Sika deer, but the mature really redeemed it. And as far as the outfits go, like I said earlier, I bought the pack so you guys could see it, take a look at all of them and decide if you want to buy it for yourself. Everything is, of course, cosmetic. It doesn't make any difference to your hunt. Wearing the outfits isn't going to, you know, increase your camo or make it less likely that animals see you. I'm not sure if I would have bought it personally, just because the character I typically use is River. Like, he's the one that you start out with the tutorial with. He's the character I immediately kind of think of when it comes to Way the Hunter. I don't love his outfit as much, but I wanted to show them all off. I wanted to talk about the update and see what you guys all think in the comments below. So I think on that note, that is going to do it for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.